Guys, welcome to my live stream. Welcome to my Cactus live stream. A few days here with Zone Out. I want to go through. Apart from that, we will see what we do. But yeah, just wanted to say hello, everyone. Welcome back to my live stream. Today I want to water quite a lot. Yeah, I'm sorry that I'm a little late. I had to go shopping. Had to buy food for Mika, Kami, and the birds that I'm feeding, like the wild birds. I always try to have a bunch of sunflower seeds at home. So yeah, I have to get them. Hey mate, welcome to the stream. Great to have you. Thank you. Just here, change the chat set. I'm drinking a coffee because I just came home. I was literally carrying the big, heavy shopping bag home, and I can't really move my arms now. I have forgotten how much I hate when I have to walk to go shopping. So yeah, bought a little stuff, and now I'm back, but I'm a little bit late, so excuse me for that. Yeah, let's get started. For the future, like with yesterday's stream, political agitators will be banned right away. I might promise that I might not trash them a little bit afterwards for coming into a Cactus stream, but yeah, in the future, I will probably be very fast to ban. They're just here to stir the pot. But again, every now it was a good situation for me, good chance for me to explain why they are wrong. You know, not only saying that they are wrong, but why they are wrong. And I needed to do that for myself. So yeah, but now I'm back with a lot of cactus seedlings. Great to be here. And yeah, let's get started. I want to go through the bags a little bit. I do not have so many today. We'll see how long I can stream because I'm really exhausted with the muscles. When I'm walking, at some point the Lyme disease kind of makes the muscles weak. So yeah, but I definitely have an hour today. So let's get started. And welcome everyone. Always happy to take questions. Within the realm, you know, within limits, but I'm always happy to have a chat about other stuff. If not, I'm just going through the cactus seedlings that we have sown out over the last 2 or 3 months. This one here, let's see what the label says. There's no germination in it. Not a good sign. Let me see. I will try to clean the label a little bit. Oh yeah, this is Leuchtfeuer. Straight into the trash. This thing is just not viable. Like that one, let me see. I might have to onto the mobile because apparently the internet was gone. So now I'm on mobile. Just wanted to show you the seedlings here. We will start singling out today. I might have to get soil, so I will be gone for a minute or two, but I will do it today. We will repot a few. Single out a few seedlings that are just too crowded in the pot. Earlier today, my lamp broke that I always use to have perfect light here. So I really need to, later I will try to screw it open to see if maybe I can get this thing to replace the bulb, the light bulb, because it really helped me to light out the seedlings when I show them. Hey, welcome to the stream. Great to have you. Thank you for joining. But yeah, a little bit less light today, but I'm sure it will work. So let's continue with the ones that are in the bag. I want to do them first so we can start watering. Then I bring in the tub to water the cactus seedlings that are in need of water. There are quite a few of them that urgently need a bath. Okay, so here's one. Hasn't really grown much, and I just felt like there might be a fungus gnat in there. Just when you, like, sometimes you can see them flying up when you open the bag, when you look into the container, there's just this one seedling here, and it doesn't really look healthy. So maybe this one will be hard to save. Pseudolobivia hybrid, and I already have a few seedlings of that one. Maybe I will transplant it, like transplant this one into the other container. Because just a whole container just for one seedling is kind of a shame. So yeah, but for now this needs to stay in there. I can't really move it to the heater without risking to lose that seedling from overheating. And the seedling is too small to take it out of the bag. When you're growing cactus seedlings from seeds, they might need to be in a protected environment a little bit, either in a bag or in something like this, a takeaway container, food takeaway containers that I'm using here. So yeah, this needs to stay in there. Can't really do much with it right now. At that size, it needs another month in a bag. Okay, these here are Hildewinterer. Interesting kind of hybrid. I can see one or two variegated seedlings in between. Here's a seedling that I really need to look into, like, gotta take a closer look at. Just because that seedling looks like the remnants of a seedling after it has been expiring, and that's true. Little seedling here that we lost. I'm not sure why. Could be fungus gnat. Thank you. I really like this one. I really like the shirt. I like vintage, you know, I like a few vintage 80s and 90s shirts, that kind of stuff. And I was really, really glad when I got it. I usually don't pay much for vintage clothes. I'm not someone who pays ridiculous prices. And when you find something for $5 or $2, it's really a great feeling. And I really love the shirt. Thank you. You just, like today, they are still doing great shirts, but something about the way they did it back then, like the colors and that the way they stitched the old school clothes, it was just better. I liked it more. Today they do a lot of, like, the material is so thin. So yeah, vintage for the win. So apart from that, yeah, these Hildewinterer hybrids, and they are green. I can see one or two that aren't green, but for now, this is okay. This can go into the bag again. Maybe in a few months we will get a few healthy seedlings here. Okay. So let me see. Here's also just one seedling, I believe. Teleflora. Flora validus. Oh, okay. So this was from seeds from 2020. This is pretty good. This is a good cross. That's why you often have to look at the label, what it says, what kind of a cross you have there, what kind of a type. Sometimes one seedling can be a great win, even if it's just one seedling. If I can get this one, I didn't think that that it would be viable, that the seeds from 2020 would still be viable. Let me just turn the ringer off here. Okay. Yeah. Apart from that, this needs to stay in the bag. But I'm positively surprised that I got at least one seedling from that. Sometimes when you're sowing out seeds that are a few years old, you never know what will happen. They could be perfectly viable, like day one, or even better. Or sometimes you have zero viability. That's just, it also depends on how you store it. I'm sorry, but I really try to clean up the chat a little bit. In the last couple of weeks, I felt like too many political different, all these political interests are invading a Cactus stream, and I kind of feel offended by it a little bit. It's not that I don't. Everyone believes what they are doing is the right thing to do, and I'm sorry that I can't really. This is a Cactus stream, guys. So I apologize, but we will focus on the Cactus here. Every now and then, I'm happy to discuss stuff, but I really don't like how in the last week, politics has infringed on my stream. So yeah. I apologize, but we're not having that here. So this is Loxanthinopsis, Loxanthocereus Echinopsis hybrid. Interesting, but genetically difficult, genetically distant. Really, yeah. The type of hybrid cross where you expect a low viability. In this case, there are some that where really have a few healthy seedlings, but in this case, we definitely don't. Okay, so this, I don't think I want to spend a lot more time with that. This is a plant where I had at least 50 fruits from it since I had it, and that's just, not all of them will be equally viable. That is okay. So let's focus on these here. Okay. Yeah, healthy looking green seedlings. That is, I like that one. Here's a yellowish one, but the others look fairly good. So genetically, this isn't really raising the alarm bells like the others. Hybrid cross by Uwe Kahle with Cisala. Good hybrid. Yeah, and we'll see what we do. They need to be in that bag for another month at least. And yeah, in that time, we will see what happens. But it's good to have seedlings here. Okay. This is also Loxanthinopsis. Might even be the same seeds. These are also no viability, no little seedling. This goes into the trash. I'm not wasting any more time with it. This is done. Nice test, but you can't win them all. So, okay. Let's see. Next one. I really want to start cleaning out here. Really. Also, no seedlings in this one. Feathers. This is a multi-hybrid with ragged flowers, feathery flowers. Nice yellow color, and definitely useful. Interesting for breeding, but genetically, yeah, difficult. Not all of them will come up like this one. So not wasting more time here. I have so many seedlings that I need to take care of, and if I don't want to waste too much time just keeping the same empty containers around. So in the next couple of weeks, I want to sort out quite a lot here. Yeah. Just one tiny seedling. Bamboy, I think, was it? Yeah, Bamboy. Good hybrid. Would be the type of cross where you fight for that seedling. Could definitely be an amazing flower. So sometime soon I will probably transplant a few of these smaller seedlings into new soil, because I want to give them better chances. So let me see if we can maybe get a few together. Here's one. But yeah, the other thing that you have to keep in mind, sometimes you get delayed germinations. Like in this case, there's just one seedling, but I haven't given up that once I put that under the plant lamp, we might still get a few more delayed germinations. So I will leave this one in this container, but I might really move this one and a few others into a separate container, one in each corner. So you can plant 4 different seedlings, always with a tag. That saves a little bit of space. So and you know, needless to say, in this case, like the comments that I removed were about Iran. People there have all my sympathy, you know, like they have. I hope that they will get democracy, but I can't really. There's only so much you can do in a Cactus live stream, so that's why I deleted it. But it doesn't mean that I don't think that people don't deserve to have a free life there. Quite the opposite, you know. But again, we're in a Cactus live stream, and in the last week, it has been constantly invaded by politics. So I'm cleaning up a little bit harsher, generally. So yeah, in this one, so I'm cleaning up, guys. I'm blocking everyone who comes here to just steer the pot. This is a completely positive kind of live stream. I'm an entirely democratic person. And if people just come here to spread hate, you are not welcome with that. I do not like that kind of stuff. This is a positive platform. We're streaming plants. We're growing something, you know. In today's social media landscape, what we are doing here is urgently needed as that little bit of space where people can go to have a little bit of mental health, you know. Staying in touch with nature is inherently important. So yeah, and I would just clean up if necessary. Hey, welcome to the live stream. Great to have you. Hello. So yeah, let's continue. Danke, vielen Dank. Yeah, let's see what we have. This is Echinopsis glauca. That's why I transplanted them and why I gave them a little bit of extra space here. There are just 3 seedlings in this, but they are worth it. You know, they are not growing fast. They are barely having spines, and they should already have them because they are a good 3 months old now. We are growing cactus seedlings here. This Cactus, you know, kleine Kakteensämlinge. Familienfreundlich, everything family friendly. So yeah, let's continue. I really want to focus on because I felt like in the last week or so, people have been intentionally starting to derail the live stream, and you know, I need to moderate a little bit harsher. So yeah, just 3 seedlings, but they are important. This is a cool plant. The mother plant was nice, and I really want to see them out. I want to see what grows from them. Really nice. If the flower is similar to the mother, like the plant where these have grown on, it will have an amazing big flower, and maybe I could get a little bit of color into it because the father was bamboy. That could be really great. Like bamboy is one of the best hybrids in the last 20 years maybe, and it's, in this case, it could be a great combination with glauca. These are cactus seedlings. You're in a cactus live stream, growing cactus seedlings here that we have sown out in the last 2.5 months, 3 months. And I'm just going through them. we always keep sowing out a little bit, so we have them in different sizes. The young ones are still in the bag, and the bigger ones, they are already out. They need maybe 5 years until they flower, and then we see how good our cacti are. These are mostly to get a beautiful flower, and yeah, a lot of different ones, because you never know which one will be the perfect nice one. So yeah, let's see what this is. Hilde Winterer, Humkes Roro. They haven't been growing here. A lot of people who have been following the live stream, they have seen that these have barely changed over the last month or two. Really shame, because the flower is beautiful. This is Humkes Roro, like I said, and the kind of hybrid that has a beautiful flower but could genetically maybe be improved a little bit, and that's what I'm trying here. I've pollinated it with different kind of parents, but this doesn't look healthy, you know, doesn't look really super healthy. So we will see what comes from it. Yeah, and we've had this one. Let's discuss the ones that are in the takeaway containers. I usually sow out in these. This is a classic square pot, and you can put them in a plastic bag, give the seedlings humidity, and if you don't need it anymore, you can just take it out, and it already has the drainage holes at the bottom. And with these, you don't have that, but it works. You can sow out with them. It's just not it's not perfect, okay? But at the core, it works and can be used to successfully grow cactus seedlings. This is 250 milliliters. In regards to the content, probably water, like how they measure it, I'm not sure. Probably water inside, volume inside. They sell them in all sizes, and in this case, this size allows to maybe fill the thing up halfway with soil, and you still have a little bit space for the seedlings. And the seedlings are not so deep down. If you buy a taller one, you always have the seedlings very far down, or you have to use immense amounts of soil. So in this one here, this looks okay. This seedling here is a variegated seedling. I would take that one out. Not having a lot of hope that seedling will long-term stick around, so I'm taking it out right away. Not sure where I have my stuff. Not finding my equipment here. I've been cleaning the desk, and now my stuff is gone. So I would use the tweezers here. So yeah, I would take this one out. This is a white seedling. With white seedlings, you can already assume that they are a little bit delayed at the very best. Like at best case scenario, they are delayed. They can only produce a limited amount of chlorophyll. But this one looks like it's already gone, or at least in the last stage. They become transparent, milky, and yeah. I just hope that the others will be all right here. Cleaning up a little. Yeah. Yeah, it's like that thing with the height has been a huge problem. So as far as I'm concerned, you really need to be careful how much soil you put in. If you put in too much, you don't have the seedlings where you want them to be, and it takes away light. It always takes away the light. So I prefer sowing out with these, but it's so many people are using takeaway containers, and it works. You just have to be a little bit more careful. Maybe you have to repot a little bit sooner, but apart from that, it can be done. I will close this one up again, by the way. I want to transplant that one into a container with a few more, like with others, where I only have one seedling per cross, but I haven't found any yet. So I will put this aside now, and later I will probably transplant that. In this container here, I hope that we can get maybe 1 or 2 healthy seedlings long term. That would be the goal. Here's another white one on the side that probably doesn't have the ability to survive on their own roots, which in my case is really a deal breaker. I consider that a huge problem. So it will just shrivel away. Sometime soon we will start doing seedling grafts here, but our grafting stocks are just a little bit too small. I want to graft on them, on something like that, you know, when we're sorting out. But they should be a little bit bigger. Not much, but a little bit. Until then, if the variegated seedlings disappear, then that's okay. There will always be the ones that are somewhat variegated, but not totally. And I want to focus on those. That gives us a little bit more, like the seedlings will generally be healthier. Okay, so this can go back to the lamp. You can't take them out right now. They are too small. Like even the ones that have potential would probably not survive being taken out of the bag. But eventually we will get there. This one here, this looks good. Healthy seedlings, I really like that. I appreciate when I have a container full of healthy seedlings. Fast 12, one of the best hybrids that I have, that I enjoy working with. So this is good offspring. At some point we will have to transplant them because they will run out of space in that thing very fast. Like this, but just deeper in the pot, you know. So that needs to be, we need to get involved there very soon. Like I said, later we will probably transplant a few seedlings, single out, depending on how much time we have. Okay. These are very young, still in the process of germinating. In that stage, I usually try to leave them alone. Just give them light, that they can grow towards the light. And yeah, everything else needs to be seen, remains to be seen. These need 2 weeks to settle in, and then maybe we can do something. But right now, we just wait and see how many of those seeds will come up, because we still have germinations. And the moment you start messing around there, you would disturb that. Right now, I'm not really seeing big reasons to get involved. So I will just close this up again. Some of the seedlings are white, really white, meaning albino, meaning chlorophyll problems, like the lack of the ability to produce chlorophyll isn't there. But it doesn't have to stay like that. Sometimes when they germinate, it takes a while. Okay, so here I transplanted a bunch of seedlings so they can recover in this thing. Just wanted to compare it to the square pots when I sometimes transplant into the bag again, to give seedlings that have been where I tried to take them out and they were too stressed. Then I take a step back, give them a little bit more humidity again until they have recovered, and then we try again. And these need a little bit longer in this container, and then I will try again to take them out, like take off the lid. Eventually we will have to transplant these two, but for now it's okay. By the way, this is also like, you don't have a lot of space. If you put in too much soil, you don't have that room for the seedlings. And you always have to remember that with these lids, the humidity collects in center often and drips down on the seedlings, and that can really disturb them. especially when you have seeds that are just germinating. That kind of thing's really not good in that at that time. So try to maybe, if you see that it affects them, try to remove the drip water a little bit every time. Okay, these look good for now, very young, but here's a seedling in the middle that has a discoloration at the tip. It looks like the seed corn. I'm not sure how you say it perfectly correctly in English, like the husk, that thing that the seed that remains of the seed once they germinate often gets stuck on the tip, and that causes an infection. And in this case, it's exactly that, at that spot where it would get the infection. I can even still see that seed, the remnant of the seed stuck at the tip. So I try to take that out now. I'm just careful about it because I know that when you have freshly germinating seedlings, they sometimes have a discoloration. They sometimes show a reddish discoloration like you can see here. And you need to be careful that you do not confuse that with an infection. So I'm making extra sure that before I take that seedling out here, that discoloration that I see is actually what I believe it is. I touch the seedling carefully just to feel if it's mushy, and I take it out. I decided to take it out. I just don't trust that thing. And when I take it out now, I've seen that the other seedlings come with it, you know? So I might have to transplant that seedling back into the soil. So this is the seedling that I took out, and it has that reddish brownish tip. It could be just a reaction to the lamp, but probably not. I would take it out. I also don't like how the base looks. It has that transparent milky look that usually shows that a seedling is no longer there. So yeah, I will pot this thing up. Maybe trying to clean a little, because there are other seedlings where you still have the seed stuck at the tip. And I'm trying to avoid that this stuff is going to spread. So I would fix that a little bit. I really see a few discolorations like directly related to the seeds. That can show that sometimes that the seeds might be dirty, you know, that you might not have had perfect cleanliness during sowing out. Seeds need to be cleaned very well. And sometimes if you have that little fruit pulp stuck onto the seed, it can affect the seedlings. It can infect the seedlings later on. So yeah, I'm just taking off that little seed on every seedling where it's still on. That is just not superbly healthy. And these in general don't look so good. I'm not sure what they have, but something is wrong here. I consider taking them out very soon, but they are far away from having a safe size. Here on the side, there are seedlings that fell down. I need to take those out because those would also disappear, cause an infection that you don't even see because it's on the side. But I really don't like the look of this container. It has some sort of an unclean appearance of the soil, of the seedlings. Here's a seedling that I want to take out. Cleaning up early to get a somewhat healthy soil in there. If you constantly have seedlings that are disappearing and rotting away, that is not good. This is Lobivia what is it? Wurzel. This is Cantora. No, this is Wörlitz crossed with Cantora Gelb. Wörlitz, a German hybrid by Hartmut Kellner. Good hybrid. And in this case, it's involved as one of the parents here. So yeah, I've been cleaning up a lot more now. It's looking a lot better. But at this point, you just can't do much. You can't really extensively move the seedlings. You can try, but every time you try, you move a seedling of this size, something can happen. Okay. Yeah, I'm closing it up now. In general, I feel like this thing here could become a problem long term. Unfortunately, at this point, it's too early to take them out. Even if I wanted, we would probably lose more than if I just leave them in a little longer. These are very young germinations, tiny cactus seedlings. Let's see what it is. Pink stripes. Oh, okay. This was seeds where the first germination test failed. Look at it now. I mean, they're very small seedlings, but they are coming. They're getting there. You know, I'm very happy. These need 2 weeks to come up, to fully come up, to germinate. But then we will have a whole container full of pink stripes cactus seedlings. Pink stripes having a beautiful flower. Big, colorful hybrid by Reinhard Liske, and one of the best ever, you know. Masterpiece hybrid. And in this case, I try to somehow get a columnar cactus bred into it, or like last year I tried 2 different approaches. One to get that columnar cactus into it, into pink stripes, and also one to get ruffles into pink stripes. Both very interesting, would be interesting flowers. Yeah, so in this one seedling, unfortunately only one. But this gives us maybe a chance to maybe move that other seedling in here that I put aside, that I wanted to move. Where is it? Okay, here. Because I wanted to have that seedling in a better soil. So let me take it out here. Trying to remove the soil from it, and it's very, like, at that age, like when they are this small, it gets dangerous. You need to really be careful that you do not break the little root, because they usually can't recover when you break it off. It can happen, but it's often not. But often not, you know. Okay. So I try to compress the soil a little. I try to get the seedling a little bit above the soil. I don't want to have it surrounded by soil. This is the seedling here is not very tall. It might be maybe half a centimeter tall. And at this point, it needs to grow. This needs to grow for 2 months at the very least, to have some sort of a size where I can take it out. It's also a little bit too small for the age. So for now, I want to have it in a better soil. I will water a little bit. Let me get my leaky can here. Just trying to get the soil to a point where I can position the seedling a little bit more reliably on top of the soil, not surrounded by it. Okay, good. This goes into the trash now. This is the remnants of the first container. Like we only had one seedling in there, and I don't want to keep it around now. It's time to discard that soil. Don't waste too much time. Okay. These are maybe 1 month old. I think we started sowing out into the takeaway containers, into the salad takeaway dishes with lid. Yeah, and they are growing. Healthy green color. I like that. Gotta always appreciate that in hybrid breeding. Because very often the offspring can be unhealthy, and that is a sign. Apart from that, I see a few seedlings that are a little bit too small in there, and they have germinated lying upside down. A healthy seedling would usually be able to get up during germination. The fact that these two don't shows me already that they have a greatly reduced chance to survive. I would just put them in a corner here. They are tiny. Compared to the other seedlings, these have maybe a third of the size, if they even have that. And it could be that they didn't get enough water in the beginning. You know, at some point they just start getting smaller and smaller again when they don't get any water, or they could have been unhealthy seeds to begin with. When you are sowing out, not every seed comes up perfectly healthy. Some of them are just, they have ripened to a point where they can just come up, but nothing more. Okay, so I tried to pick up a little seedling here that was lying here. Sometimes when you're handling these, I feel like every time I touch it, something moves inside the container, in center. Like you with the takeaway containers, every movement that you make can mess things up, can break the soil, and that is a little bit less with this one. Simply because the walls of these square pots they are more they are firm, and this is rather flexible. So every time you handle it, something can happen. Something moves. Okay. Yeah, apart from that, I will close it up again. This is a columnar cactus hybrid cross, like with the mother columnar cactus and the father good flower hybrid. Something with cool flowers I wanted to bring into the columnar cactus. Just a nice big flower. Colorful, hopefully. Okay, so these here, they're developing good, like well. I've had them in the container so they could recover. So they could, like, they were not doing well in another medium. Then I transplanted, and now they are really, really doing well. They have started to grow. The new soil also has new fertilizer in it, and that will carry them a good 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks maybe. But we get to the point where we take these out of humidity, and it would be one of the first bigger, one of the first containers, takeaway containers with bigger seedlings where they are out of humidity. A lot of the takeaway containers are still inside the, like, with lid closed, because we've sown them, like we use them later. We first sold out in these, and then we continued to work with these. Okay, yeah. Think we will leave them in for maybe another week. But these are getting close to be taken out. I could already, but right now they are just growing so nicely. So why rush? You know, why rush along? Sometimes you have to give things time. Be patient. Okay, so let me see. I think I will get a little bit of soil, and then we're singling out the seedlings that are in the most crowded pot that I see. Maybe these here. This would be good to single them out. So let me get a little bit of soil, and I would be back, okay? Just need a little bit so we can put them in a new pot. Okay. All right. So here I am. I'm bringing a little bit of soil here so we can just start to sing it out. I'm getting me something to put below for the workspace, and then we will be moving the little cactus seedlings here. They will go into at least two pots, maybe three. Yeah, I think three is more likely if you look at the huge amount of seedlings that we have here. Okay, so I want to make sure that I fill up this pot fully, because I've seen very often when you do not put enough soil in it, you have the seedlings too deep in the pot. So I will try to really fill this thing up. Okay, a little bit more, no? Yeah, okay. Always compressing the soil because a little bit will sink in. Okay. Just a little bit of, they have that ground root bark in that soil. And I try to avoid having that as a top layer, you know, as that, because you can't really put the seedlings there when you have that that much like material lying around. Okay, so I brought 3 containers. I want to start taking the seedlings out of this container here. These are probably Uwe seedlings. Let me see what we have here. Yep. Saboto crossed with Tano. Yeah, something like that. Saboto. I don't know what kind of a hybrid that is. But I want to transplant. So these need to go out. Let me show you why. They are too small. If you look at them now, these should be twice the size. And that is usually, like in such a case, when you have such a crowded pot, it's usually because they don't get enough space. They don't get enough contact with the soil to take in the water. So now we are making sure that they have that space. They will need 2 weeks to recover, to get used to it, but then we will have a nice, healthy group of seedlings growing. So I would take these out here now, trying to split it up a little bit. Usually I try to remove a lot of soil. The more soil, the easier it gets to handle these seedlings. But also, once you remove soil, you can also accidentally damage the root system. And that is really dangerous for the little seedlings. So you always have to, when you have a group of seedlings like this, very carefully trying to get it apart without damaging the root. The little cactus seedlings usually cannot recover from that, from losing that root. I would love to take them apart a lot more, but these are really close together. They feel like they are really, they have really grown together. And when you have that, when you have something like that, a pot that's this crowded, you can easily understand how just one infection on one seedling can cost you them all, you know, cost you the whole container. Because once you have seedlings so close together, disease can spread easily. Okay, so yeah, I would love to take them apart very thoroughly, but that will instantly damage the roots on some, and I try not to. So we'll see what we do here, how we can check this out. This is just one seedling. Okay. These are good seedlings. If we wouldn't do what we do now, like singling them out, and this isn't singling them out, by the way, this is just making space. And if you don't do that, when you have a lot of seedlings in a pot, eventually they will thin themselves out. You will lose more and more. And yeah, that's bad. That's very unfortunate. If you have a cool like hybrid cross, or if you have an interesting type of cacti that you want to grow, and you really want to have them all, it's best to give them space early on. Not too much, but this when we're done, this will be so much better compared to the way it was before. Because you never have all the seedlings touching the soil, having access to water and nutrients like that when you have that crowded cluster of seedlings, and I try to avoid that. So now I will carefully, slowly start to pot up all the seedlings. Trying to just give them connection to the soil. That's all I want to do here, not much. I just want to move them a little bit. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the stream. Great to have you. Yeah, I felt like we're doing something else today, singling out, because it's such an important thing to do. But yeah, there's always something else that we should have done by now, you know? And of course, it never works without political interference. So yeah, I'm glad that today we can focus a little bit on the plants again. Okay. Yeah, let's water again. Water gives you visibility and helps everything to sink in a little. I also want to have the rootstocks of the little seedlings that sticks together, that still sticks together. I want to have that a little bit more flexible too, so I can maybe get the ones apart that I couldn't get apart in the, like when I first tried. In the beginning, like this was a problem. Didn't want to push too hard, didn't want to pull too hard. But now that it's wet, it's a little bit easier. So many cactus seedlings. And every one of them can have a different flower. In this case, in cases like this is not botanical species. This is hybrids, and every one of them can have that one amazing flower that you had hoped it would have. Sometimes you have many different flower colors in one cross from the same parents. Okay, so yeah, I'm just trying to bury the seedlings' roots here, trying to get them in a position where it's acceptable, where they can continue to grow, where they have contact to the soil, and also have a little space to get light. The most important thing right now is that they are finally getting space again. I would love to not single out like that, or to give them more space. But unfortunately, if you don't do that, you will just lose unnecessarily many seedlings. And you will also, from time to time, have infections that can cost you the whole container. Seedlings that are root bound, you know, that don't really get the space they need, they are more vulnerable and suffer from infection quite often. Some of those roots look very weird. I'm glad that I started to single them out a little bit more. This was really necessary here. Yes, it was time. But unfortunately, there's so many. I'm not sure where I put them. We will have to have these discussions very soon on the stream. What to do, how many we can grow. We will see. I'm currently trying to build me a little bit of a few shelves, stuff for seedlings to grow, you know. But you still need light. You need to give them light, so you can't really put them on a dark shelf and be done with it, you know. So I'm currently experimenting how it can work long term with all these seedlings that we're growing here. Okay. Yeah. So I want to give you an update, show you how far we have come with these. There's a few spots where we can put another seedling, and that's good because I still have a lot of them lying around here. And on some, the root looks weird, like it might be damaged. It feels like they have stretched in order to get to the light, you know, when they are so close together. And the soil is so far down, they might stretch. That's great. I hope it works. Hope you can grow them. It's an interesting plant. Okay. We're getting there. And I really miss my lamp. The lamp that I used to have to light out the seedlings. I need to later, I will take it apart and see if I can, if there's just a bulb that I can replace, a little thing, you know, or if I really have to throw away the whole lamp. That's really bad. I like that lamp. It was the best thing. Like in all the videos that I did, that lamp had done great services to me. I want to keep it, so I would try to fix it later on. Okay. Yeah, so now these will be singled out, and in the next 2 or 3 weeks we will probably lose a few seedlings just as a direct result of transplanting them. It's not, of course you shouldn't, you know. Of course you always know that you shouldn't damage the root. It's just that sometimes it still happens. You can know everything you need to know, but they are so fragile that you can still lose some every time you work, every time you transplant, every time you move seedlings. The more you do it, the more you get a feeling for how much they can take and how much not. Okay, so this is the last one. Oh no, here 2 more that have fell down, but I put these into the other one. This is already full enough. Okay, so I want to water that now, and when I water that, a few of them will instantly fall over again, but it's okay. I need to fix them again. When you're moving seedlings, it's not that you're just sticking them into the soil. They are living things, and you need to move them like that. Okay. So now that I watered, it shows that some of the seedlings just don't have stability yet. And that gives me another chance to just put them on the feet, on your feet, soldier, you know. Trying to get every seedling to at least not be lying on the soil. Because if they are already on the soil, it doesn't take much until they start rotting. Okay. Yeah, and in the next couple of weeks, when I spray them, they will constantly fall over. They just don't have that stability yet. They don't have that root system that reliably keeps them up. So let's write a label. for the new pot. So this is KA 2024-80. Saboto, or something like that. Or Sabolo, I'm not sure. I will write Sabolo, crossed with Tano. Uwe Kahler often uses names that are heavily influenced by cities in Ghana, and could be something like that. He's very often in Ghana and knows the city names, and that has been a theme in the names that he chose for his hybrids. Okay. Yeah, in this one, also, big ball of seedlings that I need to take apart. Carefully now. I have watered it a little. So the soil doesn't stick together so firmly. You can carefully pull it apart. Okay. So I'm now lifting all the seedlings up. I just placed them on the soil, and eventually when I'm done, it will look like something like this. Just having the seedlings in the soil, it doesn't have to be well done. You can always fix it again later. Don't expect perfection from you. This is the type of stuff where you are constantly correcting. There's no perfection with this kind of stuff. They will sometimes just fall over 5 times every time you water, and eventually they will start to grow their root into the new soil, and then it's good. Then you can send them on their way into life. So yeah, and long term we will see how many of them we will keep. I tried to get maybe a few more informations from Uwe about the hybrids that he sent me here, so I know how many of them we should keep. They could be amazing, and having a million seedlings would be the best thing ever, or they could all be somewhat similar. If you keep 100 seedlings and they all look the same, they all have the same kind of flower, then you waste a lot of space. So you really need to invest time looking into what kind of a plant you are growing. To decide how many we will keep. If you are growing botanical plants, that's a totally different thing, because you don't need so many of the same kind. Sometimes you have 30, 40 seedlings of a botanical species, and it's good when you have 5. But with hybrids, you never know. Sometimes they can look like every seedling can look different. They can have a different flower mostly. The body can also look different. There's big variability in the seedlings, just in the body. But the flowers, that is even bigger. Okay. Yeah, and the one thing that stands out here with these is that how thin the base is, and the root, how fragile the root is. This is not easy work. Gotta be careful here. Take these apart. Here's a seedling that I will put in. Yeah. Okay. We're getting somewhere. Long term, I really want to sow out less. This is just entirely too much. Okay. I also noticed that some seedlings in between are very delayed, very smallish. That can happen just because they have had a bad position in that whole construct where you had them, like in that whole seedling ball. Sometimes you have the little seedlings that never get light, that never get water. Sometimes you have seeds that germinate with the delay. So you have the first seedlings, the first wave of seedlings, and when you start watering them repeatedly under a lamp, then you keep getting more. Okay. Yeah, and long term with a root system that is so thin like this, they don't have a lot of stability right now. They will need to grow that now. This could also be really a side effect of being grown so crowdedly. So now they will have to like grow a little bit thicker, learn to stand on their own, and we will definitely lose a few here and there too. Okay. I will be filling up the pot here. I have a few more seedlings that I see from the other one that I'm also moving in here. I will try to grow these until they have a safe size to be shipped. Maybe I'm sharing with friends, sharing seedlings with friends, something like that, so we don't have to put them on the compost bin. Hey, welcome to the stream. Great to have you. Thank you. That is great. I'm happy for you. You're in the right stream. We are just moving little cactus seedlings that have, there are too many of them. So I had to single a few out and not even singling them out, but just giving them a little bit more space, but they are still so small that it's hard to move them. It's a little bit earlier than I would love to. That's great. It's a great hobby. And yeah, I'm sure you will like the cactus. Check out the cactus stuff. It's really good. It's really an amazing hobby, like with the different flowers that you can have. I will keep it in mind. Thank you. I will keep it in mind. I will ask for photos of the parents, and then we'll see what we do with them. These could be really good. I mean, every now and then you get seeds where someone really sends you the best stuff that he has. And with Uwe, I always expect something like that. So I really need to be careful sorting out too early here. We will see. I definitely want to give them a little bit of time in these pots here. Within a year, these will need so much space that I have to single out, sort out, reduce. And now that we have the seedlings separately from each other, they will grow a little stronger. That would just that would give them. They will constantly be moved a little when I water. They will experience just the classic kind of stuff, like when you spray them on a regular basis. They get more light, and they will. I'm sure they will within short time look much different than they are looking now. Okay. Yeah, I'm almost done here. We still have a lot of groups of seedlings where I might need to fix, where I need to single them out a little bit more. It's always difficult to plant little seedlings in groups because they always fall into different directions. They often share one clump of soil that they are growing out, but they're not growing straight. They're falling like this into all directions. And that's why I'm taking the seedling balls apart a little bit. Gives every seedling a little bit more space, stability. Okay, so here are more. I need to take these apart again. This is just, sometimes you have seedlings together in a way that is where it gets impossible to really do much with them. Think now I ripped off the root. These were so firmly together that I damaged the root on one. That seedling usually doesn't have a chance. Okay, now I got them apart. This was really bothering me. Normally, you shouldn't injure them, but these were just was not possible to move them the way I wanted. Yeah, and the soil here, this is sowing soil. Classic sowing soil. Coming out of the old soil we used before, the black soil. They're really starting to bother me. There are entirely too many seedlings. Long term, I would sow out less per type. Just a few each time. This is entirely too much. Okay. So now I have these here that I also wanted to take apart. I really don't like that. Like that singling seedlings out, singling plants out. It's so time consuming. I love sowing out and I hate the work that needs to be done afterwards. Sowing out is always so much fun. And this is always so much work. Okay. But we're getting there. I think I'm almost done. Want to water everything again? Yeah, I think I injured a few seedlings here. But you've seen the situation. If we had left them together, at some point you would lose some in the middle because they are dehydrating, and then you might have even more losses. So now I'm just trying to fix everything together, patch everything together. I just want to have some sort of a decent container where they all get a little bit of light, a little bit of water when I'm spraying them. Okay. I will now write a label for the other pots, for these two. I think I need another pot and another label. I have one that was in the original pot. KA 2024 80. Okay. Good. So now we have split up the three these into, like, from one container into 3. This is the old container. This will go into the trash now. And these come under the plant lamp. They need a little bit light now. You really want that soil to dry out fast now. Like in this situation, you do not want to keep this wet, like excessively wet for too long. This needs to be drying out in between now. I put it under the lamp, straight under the lamp, and I hope that we will, in 2 weeks, I can show them again actively growing. Okay, so this was that. And I still need to water a lot of seedlings. So let me get the tub of hydration, and then I want to start watering them. I have very dehydrated seedlings here. Check it out. Always watering. I mean, you see how much I just water in the live stream, and I also water outside of the live stream. So watering is a big part of growing anything. In my opinion, there's so much talk about not overwatering that a lot of people underwater. And yeah, it shows. Like when you're looking at the seedlings that were growing, you see how much water they need just to grow, just to continue to grow. So yeah, I will water them a few times now. Because the soil was so dry that it might need a while to get the water, to take in the water. The little seedlings need a little time to take in the water. Okay, so let's take these also in here. These are the ones that I just watered. Looking okay for the most part, but you can still see that reddish shade, that reddish discoloration that they use to indicate stress, lack of water, too much heat, but also cold damage. They sometimes get reddish. These also, but they are growing. You can really see nice, and you see the nice spines. They're really growing. So in this one, we need to do something. I had transplanted, and here's a seedling that where it didn't work. Here's another one where it didn't work. And I want to just put a water over it to get the soil a little bit wet. Here's another one that I put in that I also want to water. Very dried out. Needs a lot of water now. Okay. And by the way, here's a seedling that has a discoloration. Not sure if you can see it, but it stands out to me. Here's a discoloration on the seedling. And I don't think we can save it. I consider taking it out now when I'm cleaning. So I will first water this. And when I'm done with that, I move the seedlings in that one container that have been on the soil. And then I will take a look at that discoloration because it looks like it needs to be taken out. Little seedlings, they do not have a lot of room for infections. If they are a certain size, you can take that off. You can sometimes, once the seedlings may be this big, you could already remove the tip and the seedling would still survive, like the base. But in this case, show you where is it now? Oh, okay. The discoloration is in the middle. So you would have to cut deep. You would have to cut deep to get that discoloration gone. And then you only have that very bottom stump of the base and the roots that would be there. Very often that's not enough. You need a little bit bigger piece that it can survive on its own. Once you cut something out. So yeah, I'm not sure what to do here. I don't think we have a lot of options. So let me take that seedling out now, because I want to have a closer look at it, and we need to fix the seedlings anyway there. Yeah, see this discoloration there, and it's at a dangerous spot. This can go. This is probably already in the center. If this were at the tip, you could just cut it off. This could already survive on the own root, but in this case, I'm not sure. So let's take it off. We will see. We will just cut it off. Because if you have that kind of brown discoloration, it does not have a chance. Once it has something like that, it usually doesn't go away. Yeah, the seedling is already contaminated on the inside. You can see that blackish shade in center. We're taking it out. It has no chance. Doesn't really, even if we could remove it now, that is a dangerous position, so close to the soil. Every time you're spraying, that thing will get wet again. And so close near the soil, the pathogens are right there. They just need to jump a little. So let's fix this, fixing the seedlings that are there. I think this is also one where I transplanted. And like I said last time, you just don't get them right at the first time usually. Something's always off that needs a little bit of correction. Ugh. Here's another seedling that has something. I hate that. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Here's a seedling that I also want to take out. It doesn't have a root, or it's just an unhealthy root. That's a little bit, so maybe we can give it a chance. But this one already doesn't look good to me. Gut feeling was to take it out. Usually you should trust your gut, but I also don't want to throw them away too fast. I want to give them that little bit of patience that I have. Here's a seedling. I can't even tell what's up and down. Yeah, go away. Leave me alone. Was so small, it was barely able to survive. Okay. Yeah, so I fixed that a little now. Just corrected the seedlings that were on the soil, not doing well, having a bad day. And this will go to the lamp again. I want to water it again to just wash off the soil off the seedlings. Might have to correct again, but I'm really trying to do it carefully. Some of the soil that is on the seedlings now, it will take a while until you can wash it off. Here, the other seedlings, like that other container that I also wanted to show, they are too small. But so far, they are hanging in there. For that size, they are doing good. Just fixing that one seedling that was leaning over here. Might have issues, that might indicate issues with that seedling, but it's not. At this point, it's too early to tell. The age here, 2 months, maybe 2.5 months at the very least. Echinopsis valida, really nice plant, a little bit like tersheki, a little bit like Verdermannianus. Okay, so this goes back to the lamp. This is the one that had the infections. That one is already on my list. Needs light too. Needs to be under the lamp, closer to the lamp than the others. I want this thing to dry out. I want the soil to get together, firm, to give the little seedlings a little bit of stability, a little bit of, that what's necessary for a plant to finally focus on growing. In this one also, dehydration They all have been watered 3 times a day yesterday, but the soil dries within a few hours, 1 or 2 maybe. So let's water again. This is the first time they get watered today. Usually I water them early, but this morning I didn't. Sometimes you have that, you know, you're just a few hours behind, but it instantly shows on the seedlings. They just do not have a lot of time left when you don't water them. Water is life. Okay. So for now, this will give them a little bit of water, give them time to take it in. Quite pleased with that. Seedlings look good. Like in most of the containers that are outside, they already look good. Some of them have issues with space, but it's okay. So here's one with washed pumice, the one on the left. And it will be one of the last that I'm using inside. At least for this size of seedlings. I want to keep them inside in normal soil, and that allows me to just let the normal soil dry up. My reason to often use washed pumice is because it has such a good drainage. If you have it in the greenhouse, it can be safer. Inside, it is so fast draining that I have a hard time watering them often enough. So we will not use the washed pumice for sowing out anymore. At least not for now. Maybe in a comparison test one day, but I'm already bothered when I pick that thing up and the washed pumice comes out of the bottom every time. No matter where you put that thing, when I put it on the desk, I have pumice on my desk. I put it like on the shelf below the lamp and I have pumice there. And no matter where you work, that stuff is everywhere. I don't want it. I want to have a clean workspace without volcanic minerals lying around there. Okay, so this, they need water. Left one needs to be singled out like we did the others. For now, this is enough. We will do 1 per day, maybe, you know, like maybe singling out 1 container per day. That's already that will already cost us a lot of space. Okay, yeah, these look good. Most of the ones that are out of the bag have been fertilized a few times now, twice, I think. And it shows they are growing, really starting to become little cacti. Eventually, we will have a cool army of cacti here. Okay, next ones. Those also need water. I basically did everything apart from the watering. So right now, my main work is watering the seedlings for the first time today, and then again in 3 or 4 hours, and then again 3 or 4 hours after that. By the way, here's a good situation, like that seedling here, that was somewhere buried, somewhere trapped in the corner, and it did not get the same amount of water and nutrients that the others got. Check out the difference in size. Difference in size just from having a seedling in a bad spot. So yeah, trying to water that seedling also. It still looks okay. It might still survive. It's a little bit reddish, heavily dehydrated, but maybe we can get it to maybe we can save it. Okay. So next ones, these are a little bit drier, and this is one where I transplanted. Yeah, they are okay. Discoloration, yellowish discoloration. This isn't a normal skin color, but it could just be variegation. At that age, most likely, They've been fertilized. They shouldn't be so yellow. The others look good. This is okay. Very dry soil. Interesting hybrid name, Cactus, also by Uwe Karl. I grow a lot of good stuff by Uwe. We need to grow them. It is our duty. Guys, one of the best hybrid breeders that are around these days. So least I can do is grow them. You know, they are so beautiful sometimes. The stuff that Uwe sends me, the photos of the flowers. This could be great. Okay. I wanted to show you these. This is one of the containers that I watch with interest. You see some of the size, like different sized seedlings. I like that. I find that always interesting when I see that. And in this case, yeah, we might lose one or two of the small ones. Once I took this out of the bag, I made the decision to maybe lose a few. But for now, they are holding out. So I'm watering them on a regular basis. Gut instinct, we will definitely lose one or two in this container, just because not all of them look like they can produce chlorophyll, but they are still there. And with some variegated seedlings, it goes so fast, they would already be gone if they couldn't at least produce some sort of chlorophyll a little bit. Okay. Now these here. Reddish, by the way. Reddish, yellowish. And this is stress. This is just stress. Not enough water. At this point, they are under a lamp. And you can always decide to just turn off the lamp. If they dehydrate too fast. If you can reduce the intensity of the lamp, that would be a great way. If you can't, like my lamp had that function and it's not working anymore. So yeah, if the lamp's too strong, turn it off. They don't necessarily need a lamp. And some lamps, like I had one, that classic reddish kind of plant lamp that they used to have back then, red light. And that one kept dehydrating the seedlings. So sometimes you have to either hang the lamp a little bit higher, reduce the intensity, or turn it off. So far it works with the lamp. You know, the lamp's also good to have because it allows you have the soil that dries out very fast. The soil doesn't stay wet for days. That is a huge benefit. That's great. So the lamp also does good. It causes dehydration, yes, but it also causes growth. It also causes it reduces the number of seedlings we would lose just from fungal infection, damping off, where the soil would be too wet. Okay. Also candidates for singling out. We will do it eventually, but everything needs time. Okay, so these have been watered now. I really like how these are looking. They are growing with like a somewhat columnar seedling would grow. But I can already see the spines and I find them unusual. The longer you do it, the more you can sometimes pick up the traits early on in the seedling body. And in this case, I'm looking forward seeing that. The spines look so interesting. Could be that classic telegonus spine. in this case, I think the father was something like that. And I'm looking forward seeing those grow. Okay. These two need water. I would show them separately. Here's a container where I need to fix something. I transplanted a few seedlings and I'm not happy. So I need to do something here. These are okay. But also singling out material. So I will just water them first, both. The one where I want to fix something, I will do that later. When the soil is a little bit wettish, gives me a little bit more flexibility in the soil to pot the seedlings without injuring the roots. When you're working, water is really your friend here. It gives you visibility and it makes the soil a little bit easier to shape. Some of the seedlings are really reddish. Not sure why. Usually it's dehydration, but it could be that they were in the old soil, not doing well, and that's why I transplanted them. We would see. Just picking up the seedlings that are a little bit on the soil, in the dirt, lifting them up. I want upright standing seedlings. And if it's just to stay away from the pathogens. Okay. So I fixed the position of the seedlings, lifted them up a little bit. Top one, material to be singled out. Bottom one, looks okay, needs water. They all need water, we'll get it now. And in this one, I also have a few seedlings that are different. Look unique, smaller, interesting seedling shape. Okay. I think we're almost through. 2 or 4 that haven't been watered yet. And when I'm done, I will move them back under the plant lamp. Looking okay, but also getting close to the point where it's getting busy. Just watering those in the top of hydration. Okay. Yeah, apart from that, these have quite a big difference in regards to the skin color. Upper ones are rather yellowish green, and these here are a little bit more reddish. In my opinion, this could just be because these are so crowded. So we will fix that. Okay, these are the last ones, I think. These, is this here? No, these have been getting water. So this one I wanted to water again, to get the soil to settle down. And the other one, the seedlings just looked too reddish. Felt like they might need a little bit more. Okay, this is it. I believe we have watered all the seedlings for today. And now they will go back to the lamp. Trying to spray them a few times today. And tomorrow I will bring different ones. The ones that I haven't had today. Okay, this is nice. So yeah, I think I'm done with everything that I wanted to do today. Always happy to take questions if you wanted to ask something. If not, I will probably just end the stream very soon. I wanted to say thanks again for the people who are always here. I appreciate it. I always wanted to say thank you guys for, for taking me the way I am. Like every now and then, like yesterday with the live stream, I really try to do a planned stream. You know, it's not my goal to have a highly political stream. It's not my goal. But I consider myself a good person, a decent person. I never wanted to be, you know, I never considered myself a moral example. And today, I just want to use the reach that I have, that space that I have for good. And every now and then you get into a situation, life is full of little tests. And when these moments happen, like yesterday, you're being tested. And that's how I felt yesterday. Like I'm being tested, like I have to set a few boundaries here and explain why I don't like that kind of stuff, and why I try not to be overly political, but sometimes it will happen, and I can't say it won't happen again, you know? Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. It was great to have you here. Tomorrow we will continue, and I hope you have a great time. Have a great weekend. Looking forward to the weekend. So, yeah, hope you guys are all right. Have a great day. Make the most out of it. And I'll be back again tomorrow. Have a nice day, guys. Okay? Thank you for being here all the time and for making this special. So thank you. I'll be back tomorrow, same time.